Okay guys, this is Ron again. Welcome to my shop. And first off, just let me say thank you for all of those other wood turners out there that have really helped me along the way. I learned a lot of stuff from them. Today, I'm going to do a project that about my fourth time to do it. But the first time didn't turn out like I wanted it because I really didn't have a clue what I was doing. So, it is a Mardi Gras bead nightlight. And it was Mardi Gras around here, so I figured why not. So, you turn on the light and you stick it in the pot and then it lights up. The problem with this one is when I poured the mold or to make the acrylic mold, I just took the mold itself and then I just dumped a bunch of Mardi Gras beads in there and filled it up with acrylic, put it in my pressure pot, squished all the bubbles out of it. But when I put it on the lathe and started turning it, the inside of those beads is not the same color as the outside, so it really didn't give me the effect that I wanted. It's not that hard. I figured out how to make that quit, and that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you step by step what we need to make a nightlight out of acrylic and whatever wood. This particular one is black walnut, and this is just some plastic part of a bead. And so, but there won't be no cut beads. So let's get going. Okay, so I'm going to show you what all you need, and we're going to start, pardon me, with this block. Now this is just an old scrap piece of cypress, and you'll see I've got it marked on the ends to find the center, and I'm going to turn it between centers, and I want it to be a tad smaller than this 2-inch Forstner bit. The reason being is when I get it turned around, I'm not going to worry about sanding it or nothing. I am going to glue beads onto the outsides of that wooden blank or dowel or sacrificial piece of wood, one at a time, until whatever pattern you want. I got something in mind. Well, once I get them glued on there, they're going to go in a mold, and this is my mold. And you kind of see where I'm going here. This is the mold, and I'm going to place this in the mold. It'll be round and it'll have beads on it. And the idea is that the beads don't stick out far enough to touch the outer edge of the acrylic. So as long as I don't turn too deep on the acrylic, I got the full bead. Now what you're also going to need is some other scrap wood. Again, this is black walnut. I've already made a circle on there. Basically, I used my mold to make the circle because now I know the inside it's going to be about 1/4 inch to play with. And then I'm going to have one for the bottom and one for the top. And I just use my circle center finder thingy to do that with. I'm also going to use a glue chuck. So I'll glue this down to the piece of wood in the center. Got a hole in it so I can find it, that center. Get this on there nice and balanced. So when I pull the mold out, I'm going to glue it to this piece of wood. Shape it, turn it, drill it, do what I need to do. Then I'm going to use this one to make the lid. And I haven't figured out what kind of finial I'm going to put on here yet, but it'll come to me, I hope, at some point while I'm turning it, depending on what the pattern looks like inside of the acrylic. So I guess that's about it. Oh, you're going to need, I use Alumilite, and let me get that. Now I've been using the Alumilite water clear, but it's a little more expensive than the clear, and I'm not really going to leave it clear anyway because I am going to put a pigment in it. And I've got a lot of pigments to choose from. So whatever one I pick out, I'll mix a little bit in with the acrylic, and it'll give it a swirl effect, and it'll still be clear, but it'll have a pigment to it. Alright, so I'm going to take this throwaway piece of cyper and put it on my center mark. Give it a little tap. Then I'm going to pull my tailstock up, put it on the center point, lock it down, tighten it up till I get a good grip. And just dig it in over here. So that should be good. Get a little closer to it. Check it. Good to go. So I'm going to turn it down. And remember, all I want to do is get it a little smaller diameter than my 2-inch Forstner. And I just check it every now and then with my calipers. Now let's make it round. I'll have it all smaller than the Forstner. Alright, so now here comes the fun part. Going to glue the beads on it. So I'll get reset up and we'll look at that. Okay, you can kind of see my layout here. I have my colors, beads in individual piles. They're still connected with string. Some of them I'll take off, some of them I'll just leave them strung up. But I have my blank and I have my Forstner bit, and if you look close, if I put that in the center, I got a little bit of blade sticking out all the way around, so that wood's going to disappear completely. All I do now is just start gluing them on, and I got a little glue gun here, and I don't know, just start, and when I get done gluing them on, I'll pop back in. Okay, it's getting there. But when your wife comes out and said, you need some green in there, well, you go ahead and put green in there, right, fellas? Alright, I'm going with that right there. I think I got enough gap between the beads that the light will really show. And what I'm going to do now is make sure that when it's in my mold, not touching none of the sides. So the important next step is to make sure this wood block is dead centered into the mold, so that when you turn it on the lathe, that it's not cocked over. So I'll have to work on that, and I'll show you how I accomplish that. Alright, so I got an idea. I'm going to use my center finder for the circle, and I'm going to poke a hole in the exact center, so I could put a little pencil tip or something through there. One thing about it is the bottom of this is the sticky side of duct tape. So once I get that center lined up with that center, it'll hold it in place until I get the top taped over and it held down. I think that'll work. Okay. It's center now. I can see it perfectly center. So I'm going to pull this nail out and get rid of that hole, because otherwise I'll have a puddle, and I don't want a puddle. Perfect. Alright, so now I got to make sure the top is perfectly centered. So I'm going to put a little piece of tape on here. Put my center finder, and I'm going to pull this till it lines up. tape it down. Voila. Now I'll just tape it up some more so it can't move and pour the acrylic.